Hope you all are staying safe. How many of you like crime stories? How many of you like to watch thriller crime movies? Okay, fine. Today we'll be seeing a short crime story written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. That is The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. Let's get started. First, we'll see about the author. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is a very famous British prolific writer and a medical physician. He was born on 22nd May 1859 in Edinburgh, Scotland, and he died on 7th July 1930. Since his efforts to be an ophthalmologist were a failure, he redirected his interest towards writing. His genre of writing is predominantly detective and science fiction. He created the character Sherlock Holmes in 1887 when he published A Study in Scarlet. He wrote 4 novels and more than 50 short stories about Holmes and Doctor Watson. His notable works are Stories of Sherlock Holmes, The Lost World. The stories of Sherlock Holmes are generally considered to be milestones in the field of crime fiction. The character of Sherlock Holmes is known for his proficiency with observation, deductions, forensic science, and logical reasoning. Most of his stories are written from Doctor Watson's point of view. Next, we'll see what is detective fiction. The detective fiction or novel is one in which the story and plot are woven around an initial crime or murder which is solved by an investigator or detective at the end of the story with all the methods of logical reasoning and assembling of facts, and also with the interpretation of evidence known as clues. In a sensational story, the detective explains in minute details the various aspects of the crime and he solves the mystery, announces and apprehends the criminal. Some of the famous detective works are The Purloined Letter in 1845 written by Edgar Allan Poe, Charles Dickens' The Mystery of Edwin Drood, Anna Catherine's The Leavenworth Case. In modern time, detective fiction has become popular both in England and in America. The 20th century begins with the detective novels of Austen Freeman, Mason, and G. K. Chesterton. We can say that detective fiction will attract the readers since there is no limit for man's fascination for mystery and suspense. The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This short story is adapted from Sherlock Holmes stories. I'll read the story. Listen carefully. I called on my friend Sherlock Holmes on the second morning after Christmas. He was sitting on the sofa in a brown dressing gown, holding a pipe with a pile of crumpled morning papers at hand. Beside the couch was a wooden chair. On the back of the chair hung a dirty, worn, hard felt hat. A lens and forceps lay upon the seat of the chair. Obviously, Holmes had hung the hat over the chair in order to examine it. Here, Dr. Watson is the narrator, and he was called by Sherlock Holmes. When he came inside, he saw that Holmes was sitting on the sofa in a brown colored dress, as in this picture. You can see holding a pipe in one hand and also a piece of morning paper in the other. Watson also observed that Holmes had hung an old, worn-out, dirty hat on the chair, and lens and forceps are also kept on its seat. Let's see what happened next. Perhaps I interrupted you, I said. No, not at all. I'm glad to have a friend with whom I can discuss my results, said Sherlock. The matter is an ordinary one, he continued, but there are some points of interest in it. I seated myself in his armchair and warmed my hands before his crackling fire. Although it looks very ordinary, a deadly story or crime must be linked to it, I guessed. No, no crime, laughed Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes says that he is very happy to have a friend like Watson with whom he can share and discuss his results. He also made a statement that he is very interested in examining and tracing the evidence of suspects and things like that. Watson was so curious to listen to Holmes, so he sat on his armchair, guessing that some crime must be linked to that hat. Sherlock laughed and said, "There is no such crime," and he started narrating how the hat came to him. Let me tell you how the hat came here. It was 4 o'clock on Christmas morning, and Peterson, the commissioner, who was walking home. A tallish man carrying a fat goose was walking ahead of him on the road. As he reached at the end of the street, a little knot of rough men attacked the man with the goose. Sherlock started narrating that on Christmas morning, Peterson, the commissioner here means uniformed door attendant at a building or hotel. Peterson was walking home and a tall man was having a fat goose in his hands and was walking ahead of Peterson. As the tall man reached the end of the street, a little knot here means a group of rough men, violent men, who surrounded the tall man and attacked him. One of the hoodlums knocked off the tall man's hat. As he aimed a blow at him, the tall man raised his stick to defend himself and swinging it over his head, smashed the shop window behind him. Peterson rushed forward to protect the victim, but the man, frightened by Peterson's uniform, took to his heels. The roughs also ran away as Peterson approached, so Peterson was left with the fat goose and the battered hat that the tall man left behind. One of the hoodlums here means violent rough men, they knocked down the tall man, but the tall man defended himself, meaning to protect himself with his walking stick. Meanwhile, Peterson rushed to help to protect the tall man. But seeing Peterson's uniform, all the hoodlums and also the tall man ran away from the place, leaving the fat goose and his hat. Peterson wanted to give the goose back to the owner, but faced quite a problem. Mrs. Henry Baker was printed on a small cord that was tied to the goose's left leg. Also, the hat does have the initials HB that has been inscribed on its lining. However, there are thousands of bakers in the city and many hundreds of them are Henry Bakers. They saw the initials printed on the hat and also found the name of the owner of the goose, Mrs. Henry Baker. Holmes says that there are thousands of Henry Bakers in the city and it is very difficult to find the one who missed these things. Then he says that Peterson brought both hat and goose round to me on Christmas morning, as he knows such problems interest me. The goose we kept until this morning, when it seemed to be going bad. Peterson will have it cooked today. I thought that I would keep the hat with me. Watson asked Holmes, "Did you advertise in the papers so that the owner can claim the hat?" Holmes said no. "Then how will you know who the owner is?" Watson asked. For that, Holmes said that we know what we can deduce from this hat. But you are joking. I don't see what you can deduce from this battered hat. Here, deduce or deductions, meaning to say the facts obtained or gathered from the evidence, and battered means torn or damaged. So Watson says he can't understand what Holmes is trying to gather from the damaged hat. Holmes says, "Here is my lens. You know my methods. What can you gather about the man who owns this hat?" You can see in this picture how Watson is examining the hat in front of Holmes. I took the tattered object in my hands and turned it over rather ruefully. It was an ordinary black hat of the usual round shape, hard and much the worse for wear. The lining had been of red silk that was a good deal discolored. There was no maker's name, but as Holmes had remarked, the initials "H.B." were scrawled up on one side. It was pierced in the brim for a hat secured, but the elastic was missing for the wrist. It was cracked, exceedingly dusty, and spotted in several places, although there seemed to have been some attempt to hide the discolored patches by smearing them with ink. "I can see nothing. Tell me what you have deduced from this hat," Watson asked. Here, tattered means old, so Watson took the old lens in his hands and started examining the hat with regret. Ruefully here means that in a way of expressing sorrow. He made deductions like round shaped, not suitable to wear, no maker's name on the hat, it had initials "H.B." Hat secured was pierced or torn, and it was extremely dusty and dirty. Then Holmes looked thoughtfully at the hat and said, "The man leads a sedentary life and is quite clever. He is middle-aged and is not in good physical condition. His hair is grey and he puts lime cream in it. He was rich, but is now no longer so." Holmes has a few other such details about the man. I was astounded, Watson says. Holmes said that the person belonging to this hat lived a sedentary life. Sedentary life here means an inactive or spending much time seated in one place. He also says that he is middle aged and not in good health, and his hair is grey, so he puts lime cream in it. He also says that he was rich before, but not now. Watson was astounded. He was really shocked and surprised to listen to Holmes' deduction from the hat. He said, "I must be very stupid, Holmes, for I am quite unable to follow you. For example, how did you deduce that he is clever from his hat?" "Well, the hat is very large, so he must have some brains," Holmes said. "How do you know he has grey hair and uses lime cream?" Holmes answered that there is some fine grey hair on the lining of the bat, therefore his hair must be grey. There is a fine whiff of lime from the hat, and so he must use lime cream. Here you can see some fine grey hairs on the hat and also the initials inscribed or printed in that. Holmes had a logical explanation for each of his deductions. Watson said, "So, we'll stop here. Let's have a quick recap. First, Dr. Watson came to his friend Sherlock Holmes while he was examining the hat. They both had a conversation, and Holmes narrated the story of the hat and how it came to him through Peterson. Then they both made deductions from the torn, damaged, and old black hat. Watson was really surprised and shocked to see the findings of Holmes from the old hat. Here are a few questions. Please note it down and try to write its answers. What is detective fiction? give some examples of such stories. Second one is describe the appearance of the hat which Mr. Holmes was examining. And the third one is what are the things that Mr. Holmes detected from the old hat? Okay, thank you. I mean,